was the case to you guys? Right, momentum from that Kings win and bringing it in.
Yes and no. Obviously, we got off to kind of a lethargic start. Kind of get that energy up in that first quarter. But I think it was really that third quarter we came out focused defensively. We got after it. We pushed the ball, and obviously our low post guys really stepped up and gave us a big effort tonight. And when we shoot the ball the way we did in the second half, I mean, we can really do some things.
Did it feel like the momentum changes the defense in that third quarter? You hustled down, you block a shot that would be an easy lay, and even though you can tie them out, is that maybe a part in doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just you want to set the tone. Obviously, first quarter going into the second, we gave a lot of easy shots, a lot of easy baskets, but, we continued to fight. We didn't play our best, but we kept the game close, and then we came up in the second half with a better effort.
Is there a sense of relief now, at least after number 9?
I hope not. I mean, we still, obviously, we feel we can get, more games. Obviously, it feels good to finally win 2 in a row, and we want to kind of expand on that.
Is Chicago a good play tomorrow? They're starting the team you've already beat?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, we want to carry these 2 wins and obviously play with the same enthusiasm. And obviously, when we got 4 and 5, giving us 60 points or so, we'll be tough.
9 wins was the number that was hanging there for a long time. What does it mean?
I mean, we're smiling. It's good to get 2 wins in a row, like I said, but we're not satisfied with it. We want to continue to get better and obviously finish the season on a high note.
What has been the last couple of years?
He's been that guy. He's been that guy. He's been all year long. Obviously, he's been missing for a little while, but he started to come back and really insert himself offensively. We put in a couple more sets to kind of move him around, so teams just can't locate him and double him like they've been doing. But tonight, where they were so aggressive on penetration and so aggressive on the pick and rolls, he did a great job of finding open spots and making shots for us.
Where did he go? We haven't seen him.
I don't know. I mean, it was sometimes you're up and down within the seasons, and he was struggling for a little while, 10 games or so, but he's kind of got refocused and not so much offensively, but defensively really stepped up and gave us a lot of focus on the defensive end.
That was something that was great.
Yeah, it was a little shaky at one point, but we got the stops that we needed. KD came in and got a great strip on Stuckey to really push the game away, but sometimes we don't always do it the best way, but I got to applaud the guys for their fight and their will to get this win.
A lot of excitement in the bench at the end.
It is. Obviously, losing takes a toll on it, but when we get a couple wins in a row, guys are excited.
How easy is your job? Big 7-footer.
It's just tremendous. It makes my job a lot easier. It takes, scoring load off me, and it really just allows me to really become a passer and allow guys to set up and make shots for me.
Is there an emphasis to keep force feeding Brook tonight, whereas in the past, sometimes he kind of get lost a little bit in the second half?
Both him and he got it going. Jarvis got it going a little bit, and the way we ran the floor, it made it easy just to, when we got 3 or 4 guys going rather than just 1 or 2, where guys can kind of hone in on that. We had guys moving around, circulating throughout the offense, so it made it easy for me to just pick the team apart.
Was this the most complete game you've seen E play, both offensively and defensively?
Since early in the season, I have. He's been struggling, obviously confidence a little bit, but the way he came out, shot the ball, defensively, blocking shots, rebounding, all those things were, like you said, a complete game for him, but we're glad to see it, and hopefully we get more.
Was that kind of the game plan, knowing that Ben Wallace wasn't in there hogging up the middle?
It's always our game plan. When we got such a great center, we want to start inside and work our way out. Sometimes it always doesn't work for us, but tonight we definitely want to make a focus on getting him the ball deep and allow him to go to work.
How much would you just like to get one tomorrow?
It would make my life a whole lot easier. It would be great. Obviously that's our focus, and we got one more to get to not be tied with the record, but we're focused on one game at a time.
What Terrence show you by making those 2 free throws or 6 or something slip?
I mean, Terrence is a good player. He's a clutch player. We've seen that at Louisville time and time again. Those are 2 big free throws for us, and we knew he would knock it down. But obviously, he's continuing to grow in the role that he's playing, and obviously, he's a big part of what we do.
What kind of boost did he give you in that first quarter when you guys were down?
Tremendous. I mean, he came in and just his dribble drives and his ability to kick and find the open guy. He's another ball handler that allows me to play a little bit off the ball, and when you got 2 penetrators out there, it makes it a little bit easier to penetrate.
Outside the locker room, when you're with friends who are not in the game or family, is it something that you just have to say, I don't want to talk about it anymore, stop asking me about it?
I don't know. My friends and family, they don't talk about it, so I don't know about everybody else. I mean, they know how tough of a year it's been. They've been great about, showing support when it's needed. And like I said, other than that, we unsapped the locker room. We just continue to focus one game at a time.
I don't even want to talk about it.
What do you want to talk about? I don't want to talk about it. Okay.
In a way, don't you feel like the pressure's off right now at this point? Even, I know what the number says, but still, 10 games, that's a big window.
One game at a time.
You don't feel a lot more relieved right now than you did at this point?
One game at a time.
Do you wish you could repeat a lot of the second half, specifically third quarters that you've had this year?
Definitely. And I think, I don't know if I say we've corrected it, but I just like the way, the team's come out focused. We had a very lethargic, first quarter, but the way the guys came out in that third quarter and the way defensively we got after it is from what I've seen from this team and team last year, the way we came out in third quarters, it's been, drastic change for us.
How come it took so long to get it correct?
I mean, that I don't know, but I just hopefully, it sticks around.
Did you ever have a quarter where you had 0 shots and 8 assists?
Yeah, back in my Dallas days.
It's fun playing that way.
It is. It makes my job, like I said, I just can just pick apart and just we see what the defense is lacking and swing the ball. And obviously when we're running, we got guys running. It makes it a lot easier.
Defense, but with you playing that way, does that make your job so much easier with them scoring on the outside?
It was good, just have us playing well together. We've been working on that all season, and harped on, getting us to play inside out, or, vice versa well, and, it just happened tonight.
Knowing that kind of Wallace wasn't there, I think you guys kind of want to force feed the middle, trying to really take advantage of the matchup.
We weren't even focused on one guy, we just wanted to continue the way we played in Sacramento, come out aggressive and, continue with all the quarters.
Do you wish you guys could repeat a lot of the second halves you've had this year, the way you played the last 2 games, closing it out?
We can't really do that, obviously, but, like I've been saying, we really want to play as many back-to-backs as possible in a row, bunch them all together, I'm excited to go out to Chicago the way we've been playing.
Is there any pressure off knowing that you've won 9 games now?
I've been saying the whole year, we want to win as many as possible, screw the record, we're still out there trying to win every game, and once we get to 10, I'm not, just going to stop playing.
Is this the most complete game you've seen you play? Offensive and defense?
That's tough. I'm not great at comparisons.
Okay, that's fine. The last 2 minutes of the game, you feel like you had them rattled enough to kind of get over the hump?
Yeah, but I just thought we was down too much. We're just down too many. Even though we cut it before with about 50 seconds and we ran up play and lost the ball, but when you're down by that with that much time, you got to play perfect throughout, and we weren't able to do it. But we had them in a good enough position, but at that time you just got to play perfect, and obviously 97% of the time you can't do it.
What was the difference between that first half when you kind of jumped out on them and the second half where it seemed like they kind of reversed a little bit?
Well, they got the ball to their big fellas. And their big fellas was aggressive, getting to the offensive glass and whatnot. And they knew they had a size advantage, and they took advantage of it.
Did not having Ben in there really show what he means defensively to you guys in the middle?
I mean, it shows that, but at the same time, we got Kwame Brown sitting over there. I thought we could have used him more. You got a big guy like Lopez, long. We could have matched his size with Kwame, but we didn't do it. And, obviously when you have Ben out, that's a problem too. So it was unfortunate for us, but, those 2 guys got hot at the right time in the second half.
Do you think it's really just a matter of them being a desperate team at this point, trying to avoid being part
Well,
of history?
at this point in the season, with this many games left, I think right now it's just an opportunity just to play basketball and have fun. Obviously that's hard to say when you have a record like that, and when we have a record the way ours are. We've been struggling, and I can imagine how they're struggling as well. So hopefully at this point, with 10 games or how many they have left, and they tied the record, that they can just go out and have fun. Because they have some talented guys. They can just go out and have fun. I think they can compete in every game for the rest of the season.
And what's your mindset when you guys come in playing an 8-win team? Is there a sense that you guys don't want to be that team that loses them?
No, our mindset is to approach every game the same. And I think that's how we did approach it. We came out the gate with the right way. But like I said, Yi and Brook was just on their A game tonight. They were really shooting the ball well. Obviously, they got high percentage shots. But just couldn't control them tonight.
You had a great game offensively. Do you like the matchup that you had?
Well, anytime you make your first few shots, your guys can start looking for you and run your offense through you. So that was the case tonight.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.